Hello, everyone, and welcome to my podcast. My name is Lynette. Today, I want to tell you a little story that recently happened, and that is there were a couple girls coming to visit that I used to work with. In fact, we used to fly the friendly skies together, and as we all went our separate ways, and one of them I heard had a brain tumor, so she underwent surgery, and fortunately it was benign, but nevertheless the surgery was very serious. And then following the surgery, she had a stroke. Anyway, her and my other friend were coming to visit a couple weeks ago, and I didn't know if she was going to be an invalid. I didn't know what to expect after having gone through all of that. So I said, pick up everything off the floor that she can slip on. I wanted to make sure everything was okay for her because, as I said, I didn't know what kind of shape she was going to be in. Well, it came time for their arrival. She comes hip-hoppity in like the picture of hell and says to me immediately, if it's not joyful here, I can't stay. And I was like, what? I was almost speechless. And the ironic thing about that was her and I were actually on the same page. She didn't know it, nor did I say it. But inside, I was thinking exactly the same thing because that's kind of where I've been. So it led me to believe, and I'll go back to that song I know I've mentioned several times on these podcasts, that Tim McGraw country song, Live Like You Were Dying. And I thought that's kind of a common bond that she and I have had. We've had catastrophic illnesses, and it really makes you get your priorities together, find out what makes you happy and the need to be happy and not dwell on all the negativity that we're surrounded with or the little things. That book, Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, that's basically what it amounts to. So if we could live in a way where we appreciate every day without having something life-threatening hanging over us, but just make that choice to live where you value each and every moment and you value the people that you're with. I started thinking about the last, well, not this year, but the previous 4 years. There was an acronym floating around, Make America Great Again, and all I saw was division in the families, division in friendships with your neighbors, with your friends, and other negative things. And I thought, if that's what they mean by great, then they've certainly nailed it. But I don't think that is what they meant. So it made me start to think that great means different things to different people. So in my own head, I thought it needs to change from great to joyful, more like a maha instead of the other. And so you want to have not an aha moment, but a maha moment. And that is make America joyful again. Doing that, that's the other key, is trying to do it, especially when we're surrounded by basically bad news. It goes without saying what's going on in the world today is heartbreaking, to say the very least. But you can only absorb and see so much of it before it starts to affect you. I know on my phone, for example, there's an app with the N on it, so I can touch that N and see news all over the world anytime. And that leads me to the other thing, and that is, depending on what news you listen to, is basically how you feel. I mean, anyone who has taken basic psychology learns that if you say a lie or the truth or whatever over and over again, pretty soon people will believe it. And unfortunately, I've seen that start to happen. And when I talk about the division, I believe that's where a lot of it is coming from, the division, the arguing, the fighting. It's real interesting because no matter who I'm talking to, when they start to talk, I can tell by their attitude, their verbiage, just the air about them, what news station they've been listening to. And I'm not saying one is right or one is wrong, but some people think what is news, others think is propaganda, and vice versa. So I think we're at a place where we need to step back and trust ourselves, trust our own intuition, because everybody's been so filled with either news or propaganda. It has taken over personalities. It has taken over relationships. And I don't think to be truly happy we can allow that to happen. I personally never remember anything like this spread through everybody, every household, like it has in the last 4 years. Now, if that's what's called making America great, no thank you. With all that's going on in the world and all the information that we're getting, I think we all need to step back a bit. Turn off all the noise, all the news, propaganda, whatever you want to call it, whatever station you listen to, and let your own intuition, your own spirit tell you the truth. And I think when you do step back, as if when you step back from any situation, you can think more clearly. And I think we all have the innate ability to know what is true, what is the truth. And certainly anything that causes fighting with people you care about, people you love, tears apart the family values, can't be good. There's a saying in the Bible, you know a man by his works. So when you look and you see if something is destructive or does it bring together peace, love, harmony, then you know what is the truth. Again, I'm not saying one side or the other, one way or the other. It doesn't matter. We're definitely all entitled to the way we feel. But for the sake of bringing joy back into our lives, back into this country, hopefully back into this world, I think we need to step back from all the propaganda and or news that we're getting. Remember, you will always know by the way you feel or the way something makes you feel if you're doing the right thing or if it's the right thing for you. With that being said, God bless, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.